This is such a great time up at the lake. It's early evening. The sun is shining. And it's clear skies. It was cloudy most of the afternoon. But right now it's beautiful. Birds are chirping. The bees are buzzing. It's so relaxing and peaceful and calm here. It really soothes your soul and just brings everything down to a nice, calm level. I feel so lucky to be able to come up here. And I've been coming here to this lake house and this lake for, I would say, at least 33, 34 years now. And every time I come up here, I marvel at the incredible beauty of this place. The tranquility and just being so close to nature. I'm so glad that you could join me. See over there, between those two land masses, there's some water that goes through there, and it's filled with lily pads, and you often see frogs in there and flowers growing off the lily pads. It's a great place when you canoe to go through there. One time, me and my husband went canoeing over there near that landmass, that little island out there. And we were going very slowly right along the edge of the land over there, as quietly as we could. And at one point, very quickly, something came rushing out into the water right toward our canoe. So it frightened us quite a bit, so we immediately put our paddles in the water and quickly got away from there as soon as we could. And once we got a little further away, we realized there was probably a family of beavers living in there, and it was actually one of the beavers trying to scare us away from the nest. It worked. The air is just unbelievable, isn't it? It's so fresh and perfumed with all the different flowers and greenery that's growing everywhere right now. We're sort of at the height of spring. And you can hear all those bees buzzing around, and they're mostly over there where you can see these beautiful little flowers growing from, I'm not really quite sure what they are, but I picked a branch. This is sort of what they look like. And there are these little sort of bell-shaped flowers growing from these sort of little bushes right over there. And the bees absolutely love them. what they look like. So they're buzzing around over there, going to all the individual flowers of this type of plant. This tree here, I remember just a few years ago, it was just like maybe a foot high. And now it's at least 9 or 10 feet tall. Things grow very quickly in this part of the world. Why don't we go down to the dock? One of the most interesting birds that is on the lake are the loons, and they're a beautiful bird, waterfowl. They swim on the lake and they hunt for fish, and they are beautiful with black and white feathers in a beautiful pattern, and they have such a haunting call. And usually when they make that call, they're on the water, so it echoes off the lake and just echoes throughout all of the mountains around us. It's quite magical. Let's go. Come on. Pine cone. Just a little pine cone. You can find a lot of these around here. Let's go. It's nice and cozy here by the fire. How's your tea? Is it good? Nice and hot. Soon you'll be so warm and cozy. And then maybe we can go and play a few games. Okay? There's a lot of things that we do up here at the lake to keep us entertained. One of those things is reading, and we have a lot of different books that people have donated to our little library out there next to the fireplace. These are two of the books that I pulled out. This is just the National Audubon Society, the Field Guide to the Night Sky. It's really interesting. It's got all kinds of charts, star maps of the constellations and things like that. During the summer months, this would be a great book to have when you can see the meteor showers going by, which I believe are in around August. So that would be a fun thing to do with these books. And it also has photographs. Look at those deep sky objects. I'm not exactly sure how they get these pictures, to be honest. So there's all kinds of things in this book. It's quite interesting. But the book I really wanted to look at is this one here. This is the National Audubon Society Field Guide to Birds. As you know, there's so many birds all around us. We saw quite a few today, actually. And one of the ones I would like to find in here, let me see if I can find it. We were able to hear the bird, but we couldn't see it because it's sometimes difficult to see. I wonder if there's an index. Let's take a look in the index. That'd be a little faster, maybe. So it's in 169 is the page. I was close. Okay, here we are. There it is. It's the loon right there. As you can see, they have beautiful markings in their feathers, and that's the bird that's in the lake often. And they have an amazing cry or call that it's so distinctive when you hear it. It's a very haunting sound as well. So that is a really beautiful bird. So page 349, I guess, is where you can find additional information about them. 349, the common loon. It's a large, heavy-bodied loon with a thick, painted, usually black or dark gray bill held horizontally. In breeding plumage, head and neck black with white bands on neck. Back is black with white spots. In the winter, crown, hind neck, and upper parts are dark and grayish. Throat and underparts are white. And this is the interesting, they call it voice. Best known call, a loud wailing laugh. That's interesting. I wouldn't characterize that as a laugh, but and a mournful yodeling with middle note higher and a loud ringing kiari with a middle note lower, often calls at night and sometimes on migration. That's true. I noticed that the loon seems to come out in this sort of early evening, and that's often when you hear it. It says for the habitat that it nests on forested lakes and rivers. And that's exactly why it's out there, because that's a forested lake. Anyway, that's quite interesting. So there's so many other birds out there. Oh, there was one more bird. Let me just look that one up. It's called an oriole, and I was able to get some help with identifying that just recently. Here we are. So there's several types here, it looks like. There's the Baltimore, northern. I'm imagining it's a northern oriole. Let's take a look. 526. The hooded oriole, the northern bullock's oriole. I'm not 100% sure which one it might be. Anyway, it definitely looks something like that. That yellow bird with the yellow body on the front right here. It could also be that one. I didn't get a close look at it. I saw it hopping around in the trees out there the other day, and I thought it was so pretty. It's one of the more colorful birds that I've seen here around on the lake. So I wasn't sure what it was. But then I described it to some people during a live stream, and they pinpointed it as an oriole because they could also hear it while I was live. And I described that it had had a lot of orange on the breast and black wings, I believe. And when they heard it, they said, "Oh, that sounds like an oriole." And sure enough, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It's a beautiful bird, isn't it? There's so many birds in the world. I just love birds. They seem so magical, the way they can just arrive and leave because they can fly. They can come from anywhere at any time and just arrive there right in front of you, out of nowhere almost. And they're also the direct descendants of dinosaurs as well, apparently. So that's kind of cool about birds. So anyway, so many good things in this book. I'm going to look through that a little bit more later on. have this little candle right here, and it's got a sort of a nice little tin or metal sort of outer part right here, and sort of like an embossed, it's raised along here, and it's got this nice little wooden lid. Kind of nice. I don't know what that is. Let me see. Oh, it says here on the bottom. It says that it's called Ancient Philosophy. That's what ancient philosophy obviously smells like. It's not too bad. I like this because it looks so kind of rustic and natural with the wooden lid. It's really pretty. So we can light this one, or look at this big one here. This is quite a big candle, and it's in this wooden box. Looks like it's made from a log, actually. Yeah. It's got this little hinge here. It's sort of very old-fashioned. It's a little loose. Oh, there's a nut there. Okay. So, let's see. This one says it is Indian sandalwood and vetiver. I'm not really sure. I've never heard of that, actually. Oh, it smells obviously been burned a bit. It looks like somebody made a little bit of a mess with the candle. So that's what it looks like. I'd be surprised if that was real sandalwood, to be honest. But it's pleasant enough. This one has a nice little metal hinge here, like a flower. It's kind of nice the way they did that because it makes that screw look a little bit more decorative than it would if it was just a plain screw and like that sort of little flower metal part there. It's kind of nice. This one sort of looks like a candle holder, but there doesn't appear to be a candle in it. Instead, it's got these pine cones. So there's 3 of them. Interesting. This is a nice holder. I like it. It's got sort of like a perforated. It would look really pretty, I bet, with a candle in there, and then it would create these really pretty sort of lacy like shadows, I imagine, if it came out as the light sort of goes through the holes in this. Anyway, it's really nice. Let's check out these little pine cones. Of course, because the lake has so many trees, it has a lot of deciduous trees, but it also has even more evergreen trees. And I'm not 100% sure what kind of pine cones these are. They have a very faint amount of evergreen scent left in them, but I remember when I was a kid, we used to do arts and crafts with these, and you'd often would paint them gold or silver, and you can incorporate them like into a holiday wreath. Or my favorite thing is when you would paint them gold, and then you'd brush a little bit of glue on the tip of each pine cone, like right in there, or there actually, and just a little bit of glue, and then sprinkle it with glitter. And that would look so good for a holiday decoration on your table, or on your door, or on the tree. Just add a little hook, and it can become an ornament as well. They're so interesting, pine cones, actually, when they've opened up like that and dried out. They almost look like little miniature trees in and of themselves. Okay, well, there's not much we can do with these pine cones, so I'm going to put them back in here where I found them. So, I think maybe we should light this candle here. This is a really pretty candle, don't you think? I like the scent of this one better, and it looks really nice too. So let's see, let's light this candle. And I've got a box of matches right over here. This is a big box of wooden matches. Redbird. There we go, that one is lit. Okay, I'm just going to move that back there. And I've got my nice tea that we're drinking out there by the fire. So what kind of game would you like to play now? There's a bunch of games we can play. We have chess. We have a whole bunch of different card games. One of them is called Cribbage. That's a really fun game. And you use these little pegs to keep track of your score as you go along. And there's also a whole bunch of puzzle books, like crossword puzzles and word find puzzles and things like that. So we can do all of them if you want. Do you want to try one out? I'll show you all the different games, okay? And then we can decide which one to play, okay? All right.